So I want to film a video talking to people about meditation, but more about how to breathe. Um, but my energy doesn't feel quite right. I've started this video a couple times and I talked for a minute or two and then I was like, this isn't it's not right. This isn't my so I'm gonna get right. I'm gonna clear my mind and then I'm gonna speak to you about love. So yes. What I'm going to do, and what you can do with me if you'd like, is I'm going to hold a plank and I'm going to take 7 breaths. And nothing else matters except for these 7 breaths. Nothing that has ever happened in the history of humanity, in the history of Henry Fraser, in the history of. It doesn't matter. I am worthy. I am enough. This is how we practice self love. Inhale. I am worthy. Exhale. I am enough. You can't help anyone else, serve anyone else, love any or anything else if you don't love yourself. The darkness is exactly what I need. When we suppress, when we hide from, when we avoid the darkness that exists in all human beings, every human being is a moon with a light side and a dark side that they try to hide from everyone. They try to hide from themselves. When you get in cold water, you have no choice but to breathe, to focus intensely on your breath. You don't fucking think about anything else because you have to focus on your breath. To meditate is to live our life in a way where we never forget the breath. We never lose focus. But this is a process of evolution. It's not going to happen on day one. I know I might have framed that so I like wasn't really even in the picture. I don't know. As I said, I think I said this. So this is the beauty of weed. It lets you totally forget. Like that can be a negative thing or that can be a positive thing. Because we think way too much about the past. We think the past is real. The past is not any more real than the future is. Understand that. We think it's real because God gave us a brain with the capability to think. But in truth, none of that shit exists anymore. It's just imagination land. It's not real. So this is the thing about meditation. Most people think that this is what I'm saying, man. I started the video and I was like, what am I talking about? Like, what am I'm trying. I'm not in a flow state. I'm thinking. So meditation is very misunderstood. Meditation is actually this state that we're trying to get to as like a final destination, like summiting Mount Everest. That's what meditation actually is. It's the state where we are completely gone. We do not exist anymore. And we still exist as far as like we're still alive. The body is still alive and we're acting, we're still doing our work, we're doing all our things, but when we're in the state of meditation, there's no separation. There's no attachment to this body, to this material world, to anything that we think about, to this idea of the future. And there's also, we completely, not just mentally, so there's this process of evolution of like understanding something intellectually. So understanding that there's actually no separation between us and who we identify ourselves as, like this individual. Like for me, it's an individual soul living in the body. Most people identify, and again, it's a process, so I still go back and forth identifying with the body. But the truth is that we're the light of God that's experiencing human life on earth. It's this weird fucking trip that we come to. But we don't know that. Nobody understands. No one knows that they're actually the unlimited, ultra powerful, ultra healing. The ultimate truth is love, is the light of God. And that's our true nature. So all of the anxieties, the confusion, that feeling in life where it's like there's something more to this. There's some kind of ultimate truth that I'm just not. I don't understand yet. The ultimate truth is that as the light of God coming to this world and experiencing everything that we experience, our natural state is to be experiencing the pure love that the soul feels for God at all times. But the duality of life, of material life, is that we are at the same time that soul that's constantly in this relationship with God where it's just endless. It's heaven. Like the natural state of our natural state of being, of existence, is heaven. Is no thought, no nothing, pure peace and tranquility, love. But at the same time, as human beings, since we don't understand what it's like to experience true peace all day, every day, and we don't understand that we have the potential to get there, we don't see it, we don't have any leaders in our lives that have reached this state that can lead by example, that are showing people the way. We're a product of our environment. But we're also a product of our internal environment in the sense that at all times in our life, we have the free will to make a choice, to stop everything and to say, okay, right now, fuck everything that isn't pure peace. I'm going to find pure peace, and then I'll reassess and I'll look at everything. And I don't really even have to, because the cool thing is that in the process of finding true peace, we have to heal all the trauma, and that purifies the mind and the body, because all the trauma exists in the body from this life, from everything. It's weird talking about this shit and thinking about Amazon people. But it's the truth. And so the truth is that the yogis have, like, the information is out there now. So even though the purpose of life is to be a leader in your own life and to get your shit together on your own, to figure this shit out, because the information is out there. You just have to practice, and it starts by learning it, and then by practicing yoga and meditation and breathing. So the thing about meditation is that physical yoga is designed to heal all of the trauma in the body, and also to balance and align the body with the spine, to stretch, to increase flexibility in the spine. And by increasing flexibility in the spine, we increase flexibility in the whole body. And to silence, to satisfy, to bring all of the senses into harmony. And then by doing that, to free up the and this kind of like, I'm learning this as I'm going. I think ultimately is to get to this point where we can free up the unlimited potential that is stored at the base of our spine. I think that's what the Kundalini is. I just did my first Kundalini video for like in a long time. The purpose of life is to be yourself, but we get caught up in human bullshit, and we forget that the purpose of life is to be happy. So, like, you have to do your work if you want to actually be happy, long term, successful. And do your work, I'm talking about make the sacrifice that you have to make, and also work extra in comparison to how normal people work, so that you can turn your dreams into reality and you can do what you want in this life. Because that's freedom to be yourself. You have to be yourself, but in order to be yourself, but also to be your best self, like long term, from my perspective, it's all about the kids, man. So get your shit together so that you can be the best possible version of yourself, so that by the time you meet your significant other, and by the time you guys are ready to have children, to start a different phase of legacy, you've already provided everything that you need to. That shit's taken care of. And internally, you're on fucking 11. You're on point. You could not, like, you do not have weaknesses. You do not have imbalance. Your life is structured. Your mind is peaceful. Your body is at its optimal state of being. Because by doing that, by having our body at 100%, by having our mind at 100%, we can truly experience the unlimited potential that we have to grow spiritually and to impact the world on a positive level spiritually. And imagine if everybody did this. All of our problems would cease to exist. Like that. Like, fuck. instantly. Like 3 years from now, we could solve all of our problems. If right now we all started practicing with the discipline, with the consistency of a Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant didn't give a fuck about anything other than winning. Think about the pride that Kobe Bryant felt when he coached Gigi, when he watched her dominate girls that were probably like 2 years older than her, I would imagine. Think about how fucking happy it would have, like literally just driving home after she just like hit a game-winning shot or something like that. Think about how happy you would feel. Think about how happy you'll feel when your kid catches his first like big fish, like, and it's like fighting. He's not sure if he's gonna get it, and he gets it. So that's what life is all about. So it's about when you're young and you don't have all the attachments of already having like started a family or having a bunch of responsibilities, like especially if you're still in high school, listen, you need to reconsider this whole like you have to go to college bullshit. Anyways, so meditation is the state that we're actually trying to get to, but in order to get to that state, you have to have discipline and you have to have intense concentration and focus on your breath at all times and on the next task, the next goal in your path of service, in your path of evolution of being the best version of yourself. The diet needs to be on point. There's a lot that goes into it. But meditation is that state of perfection that we're trying to get to, where we have gone to heaven, but we're still in this body, we're still on this earth. So it's like, shit, all right, let's make the most of this. That's meditation. But in order to get there, we have to purify, cleanse, balance, align, and optimize the body. We have to do the same for the mind. And physical yoga does that for the body. And then when the body is in harmony and it's silent, because the mind is mostly like just constantly getting all this feedback from the body of like, there's just so much in our, from trauma to imbalances from everyday life to our gut to just like everyone goes through shit, like everyone has to stress, to poor sleep, all of these problems, all of these weaknesses in our lives, we need to solve them, and it's on us. It's not on anybody else. And you don't fucking get pity because you have problems. Everyone has problems. But if we want to be great, if we want to be the best version of ourselves, then this is what we have to do. There's no, like, it doesn't matter. Nobody gives a fuck about your problems. People, but trust me, you solve all your problems and then you tell people about the solutions. That's service.